The other day we were talking about this gym.
Okay.
That they reopened in defiance of the governor's order.
Yesterday.
Yeah,
we were talking about it yesterday.
Right. And
I didn't believe that you were going to go.
I went.
And he did. He went.
It's like 3 miles away.
And you called it, or actually I said it was going to be nothing, and you showed up and they were closed.
Yeah. Of course.
Right.
Like I can't imagine that it says online that they're open till like 11 or whatever.
Okay.
But so this is a story that actually came out the other day. Alan Dershowitz says power to plunge a needle into your arm.
Yep.
Dershowitz says forced vaccinations are constitutional. What?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Excuse me?
Doesn't the Constitution say something like if the government isn't granted the power specifically, it can't do it or something?
10th Amendment.
That's the 10th one?
Well, that technically leaves it to the
states.
That's
the enumeration of the rights of the states or whatever.
But anything that's not specifically given to the federal government is left to the states.
So my first question for all of you, you can comment as we get started. If the government vaccine man knocked on your door and said, drop trow, turn around, the injections are coming, what would you do?
Nope.
What would you do? Forced vaccinations.
Nope.
This is creepy, man.
Yeah. And they said 18 months for like a safe vaccination, and now they're like claiming they're going to have one by the end of the year, and it's like that's like in a 9-month period you're going to rock out a vaccination and then force it upon everybody.
So do you think?
I don't know.
Do you think we'll end up with do you know what thymidylide was?
No.
It was a medication I think it was in the 80s.
Okay.
And pregnant women who took it, their babies were born without limbs, so they had it was something like that, like they just like arms,
just messed people up
on their shoulders or something.
That was anti-nausea.
Yeah, is that what it was? Yeah, thymidylide, I think it was called. Do you think we'll end up with something like that?
Yeah.
From a rushed vaccine? Or do you think we'll end up with like Morlocks and people who can't basically they get injected and and all of a sudden they're forced underground? Or do you think it'll be like zombies?
Or it just renders anyone who has it like sterile or something.
Oh my God. I'm kidding, by the way.
I'm going really extreme, but
that's what I was thinking.
The Georgia Guidestones, like what was it, 500 million people max? But there's people that believe that,
for sure.
Bill Gates isn't he saying that there's too many of us, and he's the one like all about vaccines? And
yes,
I'm really diving way out there. I'm just put that out there, but I mean, I don't know.
We are now at the point where, I mean, I like to say we're on the precipice of some kind of boogaloo, but
I agree.
Let me tell you all listening something. The other day, no, hold on. For the past week or 2 weeks, I personally have been talking about on my channels the lockdowns, the constitutionality of it, the medical benefits of it. Okay. And guess what? Multiple studies say, social distancing works. We have studies suggesting the lockdown may have actually been bad. We have an economic crisis. We have food shortages, food prices skyrocketing, and there's all of the reason to suggest we should reopen. YouTube just issued a statement. Anybody who says anything about the lockdowns being bad is banned. Boom, outright.
Wow.
So there's a video from a doctor where he said we need something like we need social distancing, but we can't do the lockdown because we have to develop herd immunity.
Right.
YouTube deleted the video.
Well, he didn't actually say herd immunity, just immunity in general.
Yeah.
When you're locked inside, you lose your natural immunity in general.
Right. The point is, if we have these cops in New Jersey violating the Constitution. Okay. So let me show you the next story. And we do got to read. Police charge woman with organizing a protest at Rogue Atlas Gym. Let's look at some context here. What is this? Police charge woman for organizing a protest. How does that make sense? They say, according to a statement from Belmar Police Chief William Walsh, they cited the gym owners, Frank Trombetti and Ian Smith. Police have also charged one person with obstructing the administration of law, while reportedly because he refused to identify himself to officers, and police charged anti-shutdown protester Ayla Wolf with organizing a protest. So I guess that's it, right? Here's Murphy said, I don't begrudge anyone's right to protest, Murphy said in April. This is America. We all have First Amendment rights. I really wish they would do it at home. Wait, what? All right.
You could protest, but don't do it here. Go do it at home.
I'm gonna protest right now.
To who?
We're gonna leave the camera running. I'm gonna go in my room and I'm gonna wave a sign out my window. I'm protesting. Neighbors, look at me. Listen. This woman was arrested for, quote, organizing a protest. That's not a crime.
Nope, that's not a crime.
But YouTube says that if you do anything or say anything that could encourage people to do something dangerous, they'll ban your video outright.
So when he says, go protest at home, wouldn't that, what options do you have other than to go on the internet and protest and make people see it?
You get banned. You get censored.
So they're basically making the First Amendment illegal.
So the other day, I did a video about people in Virginia flocking to the beaches.
Okay.
And people in New York are out partying. Dude, this is crazy stuff, all right?
Yeah.
What's going on in New York, there's people jumping on cars and just taking the streets over, and they're twerking and they're doing simulated sex stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just bonkers in New York City. Meanwhile, the governor of New Jersey is threatening a local gym because they want to have some people exercise. What's worse? They can't enforce the other one, so they're going to go after this guy? YouTube shadow banned my video. It didn't appear on my channel for most people. Some people could see it. I could see it. Most people couldn't. That's a shadow ban.
Right.
So I've been censored already. What happens when they come and they just ban this channel outright? My other channel's outright. We can't talk anymore. And they say, nope, you're encouraging, dangerous things.
Well, I mean,
goodbye.
Yesterday we were kind of on the edge of talking about certain things. I don't even want to bring them up again, but for those who watched our show yesterday, we talked about it a couple times. Man, this might get us banned. We're just going to keep talking about it. This might get us banned. Let's just keep talking about it, whatever. And trying to start our show today, YouTube was messing up.
YouTube's totally broken.
It still is not updating. I could see it's not normal. It's not showing the normal specs. Something's different today than it was yesterday.
I mean, this happens. Yeah. When we first tried starting the show, we weren't seeing any concurrent numbers, any likes, any revenue, and super chats weren't loading. And then now super chats are loading, but nothing else is refreshing. So I have no idea how many likes there are, chat revenue. It's supposed to show us, doesn't show us. It's broken.
Yeah.
I tried logging out, but anyway, I think we're dangerously close to something nightmarish because you got Alan Dershowitz saying the government can force a needle into your arm.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no to that.
Yeah,
period.
He also said you don't have a right to not be vaccinated. It's like, what? How is that possible? How can you decide whether or not I get vaccinated or not?
There are some things that make sense because I'm in favor of vaccines, right?
Right.
I'm not in favor of rushed treat where they're panicking.
Precisely.
But if a public school, in my opinion, says you can't go here unless you're vaccinated, I'm cool with that. You know what?
That makes sense.
It's a public school. If the public, ordinance is passed saying these are the requirements we have for this school, great, homeschool. But they don't like homeschool.
Right.
They don't like that.
Yep.
That's the alternative. It's like, okay, if you don't want to vaccinate your kids, don't bring them to the school, man.
Yeah, done.
It's that easy. So let's read and see what Dershowitz said, because I'm telling you, man, we are dangerously close. I mean, I kind of feel like we're over the precipice. Like we just right off the edge.
Yep.
And we're just falling at this point.
Yeah, it feels like it.
Here we go. A top lawyer who defended President Trump during his Senate impeachment trial believes the Constitution grants the government power to vaccinate citizens against their will. Speaking with Crowdsource the Truth host Jason Goodman over the weekend, Harvard professor Alan Dershowitz said the public safety outweighs any private liberty concerns of U.S. citizens who do not wish to be vaccinated for the coronavirus. What?
Where does it say that in the Constitution? It sounds like he's just making that up.
Those who, those who would give up essential liberties for the prospect of security deserve neither and will lose both. Mm-hmm. Something like that. I don't know if that's actually a quote from.
It is.
No, I don't think it's a real quote from a founding father. I think it was somebody said it and then they attribute it to him because otherwise, this is what people like doing. They've done it for hundreds of years or longer. They'll say something they believe, but attribute it to a great person so that people will listen.
Yeah.
That is from Benjamin Franklin.
Are you sure?
Yep.
100%.
NPR.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just lost context, they say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
Well, did he say that specifically, or was
yeah,
it
those who would give up the essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety.
There you go.
Yeah.
So when YouTube comes a knocking and they say you better toe the line for the machine or else, I'll say or else.
Yeah.
And we're here. So I say that we're dangerously close because we're at a point where the monopolized video platform right now is basically saying, we warned you, bro. We shadow banned your video. If you keep talking out about this, we'll just knock you right out. You must advocate for the government to come and force you to be medicated.
Nope.
This is the future. This is great.
No way.
So I like to think that there would be a point, when this all blows over, that there's going to be like lawsuits.
Yeah.
There already are a lot of lawsuits. I'm not confident. The governor of New Jersey said we can't fully reopen until there's a vaccine.
It's ridiculous.
I'm out. We've been looking to expand, finding a building, And we've been looking, not necessarily in Jersey and other states, but we really wanted to do it here because we were here. Now it's like, nah, we'll figure something else out. I'm not going to be in a state where you've got, legit despots being like, this is what really freaks me out, is that you have this small business, this gym, and it's like two guys, and they're like, we're going to exercise and open our business. And he specifically tells them, like of everything he could be talking about, he goes after this one small business, these two guys who have no power, no authority, and he's the governor of the state, and he's leveraging the massive power of that state against this tiny business. Meanwhile, Walmart's profits are up 74%.
74%, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Big box stores are skyrocketing. It's not like, which dystopian novel are we in again? It's like a little bit of every single one,
Yep.
So for me, I think the big concern with them rushing the vaccine is, I don't literally think it's going to be zombies or, mole people or whatever. But, I mean, who wants to be the guinea pig for the first run of vaccines? Some people do. I don't.
Definitely not.
So, did you guys didn't answer the question? Oh, wait, no, you did. You said no. The government, comes and says, drop trout, turn around, put a needle in your butt. So let's check this out. He says, quote, "Let me put it very clearly. You have no constitutional right to endanger the public and spread disease even if you disagree. You have no right not to be vaccinated. You have no right not to wear a mask. You have no right to open up your business." Goodman interjected to clarify whether Dershowitz was saying the federal government has the ability to mandate vaccinations for all citizens. Absolutely, Dershowitz replied. "And if you refuse to be vaccinated, the state has the power to literally take you to a doctor's office and plunge a needle into your arm." Well,
that's insane.
You know what? I'd like to see Antifa speak up.
Yeah, where are they at?
What's
going on?
They're agreeing with the government.
I don't get it.
Not all of them. I think they're hiding. I think, the problem for a lot of these activists is that they defended the establishment too much. Not completely, but too much.
Okay.
When the mainstream media was saying things like, you go Antifa, Antifa rolled with it. And now that the establishment saying, okay, now that, you've agreed with us, we're going to, drag you to an office and jam a needle in your arm. They're like, just don't say anything. There's no actual, pushback or anything.
Yep.
That's what democracy is about. That's amazing. If the majority of the people agree and support that for public health measures, you have to be vaccinated. You have to be vaccinated. They should give you an alternative. The alternative is to live in your home, don't get vaccinated, but never leave your home or live in a bubble. But if you want to interact with other people, you cannot become Typhoid Mary. The Constitution doesn't give you the right to spread your illness to other people.
Wow.
Dershowitz argued that healthcare workers and officials forcibly vaccinating the public through a legislative and judicial process that comes to a consensus on widespread vaccination is the best defense against the spread of the disease.
So what company's making the vaccine? Because I want to make some money. I want to invest in them because that seems like what this is. Just a bunch of people, we'll just, make it a law that you have to take this. And that means the government has to buy it from us. So we'll make $1 million, $1 billion.
Buy Amazon stock.
What, Amazon owns the vaccine or what?
The government just shut down every small business in the country.
Yeah.
And so people have no choice but to go to Amazon and Walmart. There you go.
That's it.
If you got the cash, you don't need to worry. You just buy into the big box chains, the big corporate stores, and you will see those stocks go up as all the small businesses get crushed. It's going to be great. It's going to be glorious. Don't you understand, Adam? Once this is all over, we'll have one store. We'll have Amazon. Mm-hmm. Everybody will be injected by the government. It's exactly what the founding fathers were dreaming of with their birth of a new nation. Mm-hmm. Haven't you ever read the Declaration of Independence? We are all created equally under God, and we have the right to life, liberty, and to be suffering under the mandate of government against our will.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's what it said.
That does sound right. Yeah.
Right. Maybe not verbatim, but
that's an interpretation, which is what Alan Dershowitz is doing. So
basically,
do not want to hear that.
Oh,
it's ridiculous, man.
I can't believe he said that.
I think I'm gonna get banned. I think I've been waiting for it.
Yeah.
Because they've been. I think they're not doing bans. They're doing partner program purges. So
what? You just won't get paid for anything anymore?
Yeah, they cut you off so you can't make money. Yep. They want you to toe that line, baby.
Well, good thing we know someone who just went over to Spotify with a pretty good deal. Maybe we can, you're friends with them, right? So,
and Joe's spoken up a lot about about the problems of the lockdowns and stuff like that.
Yeah, he has.
So I haven't followed everything he said about the lockdown, but for those, I'm sure everybody knows by now, Joe Rogan's leaving eventually. The main show is going to be off YouTube. It's going to be going on Spotify. I hope that's a viable alternative, but it's going to be probably like Hulu or Netflix. You got to be in the club.
Yep.
That's what they want, man. So YouTube has been very clever about how they've purged everybody, and they've not banning people has gone too far, and it sparks a huge backlash. So now you're removed from the partner program, but you can reapply later.
Oh, of course.
So it lightens the devastation.
Yeah.
But they also don't do it all at once. They do like a little bit here and there. So there were apparently some channels that this is someone I know told me this. We're totally in the clear. Mm-hmm. News channels, not conspiracy, but a little. I don't know if the right word is maybe not conspiratorial, just not well vetted.
Okay.
Purged, gone. So I think YouTube is working its way up this ladder of like just eliminating content and channels, and
Okay.
because we know where this is going. Donald Trump is talking about. I believe Trump was talking about this, deploying the military to deliver the vaccine.
Wow.
When it's available. And what's the mortality rate right now based on the current numbers we have? It's like
under 1%.
0.12 or something like that.
0.12.
The infection rate, I think, is around like 5% now. It's like way, way lower. And none of this matters, right? We don't know. There's a lot of studies coming out. And I don't think there's a grand conspiracy simply because a lot of, government-funded and university-funded studies have come out showing it's not that bad. I think what we're seeing is the new culture war is specifically about this. If Trump's for it, we're against it, right?
Yeah.
So at first, the culture war was very much like free speech, hate speech. And you had these people who just opposed free speech because... And now it's we need to reopen the economy because people are going to starve and prices are going to skyrocket. And now you have these other people who have gone the other direction. They're like, no, we should be locked down forever.
Yep.
So then it's like they're increasingly entertaining the extreme. What's next? Yeah, forced vaccination, I guess.
Yeah, it feels like they're really just trying to push on the populace. Like, let's see how much authority we can gain here.
How do they think this is going to end? Seriously, how does this end well? How are they thinking that we can stay locked down forever and survive? I don't really understand.
No one's going to do anything about it. So look, if anybody on social media says, "Hey, we should do something about it," banned.
Yeah.
Instantly gone.
So what happens?
People start defying the government orders, like this gym. People get arrested for organizing protests, and I think for the most part, no one will do anything. I really think no one will do anything. I think in certain parts of the country, people will just bunker down. But I don't think we'll see any kind of actual resistance to this level of absurdity.
I think certain states are going to be like, there's already states where their police force is saying, we're going to uphold the Constitution.
Yeah.
And we're not arresting anyone. They're not doing anything illegal. So, and other states are like, we're arresting everyone no matter what.
Yep.
And it's going to shift the population around. I think that's what's going to happen.
I think
we're going to become the divided states of America.
Yeah, it's going to send... I think a lot of people are going to, I don't know, I think this might make tons of people conservative.
Oh, definitely.
Because you got to think about the liberals who went and bought guns, and the liberals who are now, I don't know the political leaning of these gym owners, but this gym that's trying to reopen is in a heavy blue district. It's D+13.
Oh, okay.
It's like we're just on the other side of the river from Philadelphia, so it is very Democrat. The rep's a Democrat. D+13, that means it never goes red, basically. And then just south of us is, I believe it's NJ2, which is Jeff Van Drew's district, who was a Democrat and switched to the Republican Party.
Oh, right. Okay.
I think the blue states are going to be dramatically weakened. Here's what I project right now. The governor came out and said, we won't be back to normal, the new normal, until there's a vaccine. So he mentioned stores being packed and people walking around downtown.
Yeah.
That's normal. And I'm like, you want me to sit in my house for 18 months?
Yep.
What's scary is that most people have no choice. I'm privileged.
That's true.
I have a business that relies on the internet, not on foot traffic.
Right.
So with these gym owners, what do they do? It's like, close your gym down and get a gym somewhere else. Not that easy.
Yeah.
For me, it's like we're expanding and I'm looking to get a new building. I'll just get a building somewhere else.
Even bigger companies are closing. Pier 1 closed.
Yeah.
500 locations or something. It's
Wow.
like, that's crazy. After like 50 years, so it's not even the small companies, it's the bigger companies. And I'm sure gyms are on that list too.
24-hour fitness closing.
Yeah.
Whoa,
there you go.
Yep,
See,
all together.
exactly.
I think
The entire
they're shutting
thing.
down.
The
Yeah,
entire. Whoa.
I believe so. I can double check that, but
Wow, man.
Yeah, it's huge. So is there even going to be gyms opened? Like what gym is owned by Walmart?
Could you imagine?
Is there one? No.
Could you imagine living in a city after this?
No.
New
Oh
York-
my goodness, no.
Dude, this is nuts. New York is almost entirely small business.
Or
Almost
s-
entirely.
Well, not necessarily. Or like supremely rich businesses like Starbucks, or I mean, I can't think of anything. An Apple store. There's a Starbucks. There's a corner in New York that I could stand and do a spin and see Starbucks there, Starbucks there, Starbucks there.
Yeah.
Like 5 Starbucks in one spot. I could see them all.
But that's just Starbucks. New York is almost entirely small businesses.
Okay.
Individual bodegas. There-
Sure.
There's like very few massive supermarkets. There's Whole Foods. There's Trader Joe's and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the bodegas are all. I believe the bodegas. A lot of them are like franchise networks, kind of like someone might own like 4 or 5 bodegas.
Yeah. I think
But
that's how it works.
it's a bunch of tiny restaurants. You walk down Manhattan, like 6th Avenue, and it's like, there's a tiny Thai food restaurant across the street, a tiny Indian food restaurant. They barely have any seats. They're all like, it's mostly small business. And that I was reading something about this a long time ago. I could be wrong, but I think New York City doesn't allow Walmart.
Okay.
I could be wrong about that. But Chicago is very strict on Walmarts too, because of how it devastates the small businesses.
Yeah.
But when you think about how the big chains, like Starbucks will be fine, because Starbucks still, a lot of Starbucks are still open and operating across the country.
Okay.
It's just in the cities where they're shut down. Like some, and the places that have drive-throughs,
Yeah.
they're probably open just fine.
That makes sense.
So what's going to happen? After 18 months or whatever, New York finally reopens. People walk outside, no stores,
Yeah.
no food, just Starbucks. If that, man, because the local Starbucks might close. All the food's spoiled. There's nothing left.
Yeah.
They throw everything away. What do they do with it? But we are seeing a lot of places lighten up the restrictions now. So
Yeah.
we may be coming out on the other side of this one.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we said. We've been saying it's like, oh man, it feels like it's lightening up. It feels like it's lightening up. And then of course they're arresting someone
That's true.
who are like, we're just a small gym. We're just trying to open up. It's like, no. You broke the rules. You're being arrested for organizing a protest
Yeah.
against this lockdown that it seems like we don't need to be locked down anymore. Why are we locked down still?
Well, by saying that, we'll get banned.
That's a question.
It doesn't matter. That's how YouTube rolls, baby.
I'm just trying to put it on me.
Well, I'm kidding.
I deny it.
I don't know, man. Some people are saying it's like it's a test to see how far they can push people, and I'm like, there's no conspiracy, dude. It's this tribalism.
Some people.
Ineptitude.
I've been saying that.
It's fear,
yeah.
dude. You know what it is? It's that everybody's screaming at Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Trump didn't lock down soon enough. It's his fault.
Yeah.
So these governors
Everyone
are
wants
like,
to blame someone for it.
dude, if the average take the average person, put them in the governor's seat, and they're going to be like, I don't want to be responsible. Just lock it all down forever until you impeach me. I don't care. I won't be responsible for this. So when people protest, I'm sure if enough people protested, the governor would be like, okay, we're going to reopen, but it's your fault if anything happens.
That's exactly what Whitmer was saying. I'm doing this for your own good. Mm-hmm. You need to be locked down.
She's nuts.
I definitely agree with you.
Yeah, she's the queen of Karens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, Micah Brzezinski, did you see what happened?
I saw that.
She was like, I'm going to contact the manager of Twitter, and I demand Trump be banned. These people are nuts.
Yep.
It's making everything worse.
Oh, man. Can't you just, like, take a nice bath? You know?
Seriously. Can't use your
Some
phone in the bath.
No, I just mean, get some Epsom salt,
Yeah. Relax.
sprinkle it in, just light some candles,
Woosah.
No phone.
put on some Barry White. Just chill out,
Wow,
you
you
know?
got a lot of ideas here, Tim.
Yeah.
Just talking about some relaxing,
You got a really
mood-
specific
mood
picture here.
lifting.
I know, I like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably based off of, like, a 90s era
few
sitcom
candles.
or something.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Yeah, some candles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Funny story and totally relevant. I had an apartment burned down because somebody wanted to light candles for this chick that I knew, and they put a bunch of teddy bears around a bunch of candles. Like, this is gonna be romantic, and then
Oof.
longer story than that.
Wow.
But I won't get into too much detail
Yikes.
because it's irrelevant. But I just thought of it, and I was like, I'm just gonna say it. You
Let's
know?
throw this out
Take
there.
it
Okay.
easy on the candles.
Yeah, dude. I'm bored of all this. That's the other thing. It's like I wake up, seeing these stories and I'm like, pissed off.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to do all of these things and I'm kind of just like ready to go. GTFO.
Yeah.
West Virginia, baby. By the river.
Shenandoah
River. Get a little shack.
Yeah.
Do
The
our
mountains.
show. The set will be the exact same. No one will have any idea.
In a place that's younger than the mountains.
New Jersey has serious problems with attracting millennials.
Okay.
Because why would you want to live here? Like you turn 20 years old, you're like, I'm gonna go to New York. I'm gonna go to Philly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to LA.
It's a good point.
Who wants to be in New Jersey? It's the butt of every joke. And so
It's true.
And also with attracting new businesses. And so now I'm like, you know what, man? I don't think the state cares about my business or anyone else's. I think the leadership here, one of the biggest problems that I have seen with the current generation of Democrats is that if your whole political existence is predicated upon saying whatever you need to say, just get elected, that you don't actually care about what happens next to your community.
Yep.
That's true.
That's how he came up with all these leaders.
Which ones? Who?
Like, what's her name? Whitmer.
Oh, right.
And like
Yep.
the governor of New Jersey. And
I think
everywhere.
it's
Murphy.
even
I
think
it's
it's
even
all
worse
of them.
than that. It's like they're all these people in power. It feels like they're reaching a point where they don't care what happens to Earth. They're like,
Meh.
I'm gone in like 30 years anyway. Why do I care?
Yeah.
Why do I care? And that's an attitude I see across almost everyone in the government right now. It's insane.
Nihilistic.
You know the worst thing is when I've debated communists
Mm-hmm.
and they always go like, not always, but a lot of them will be like, dude, I'm fighting for a Star Trek kind of future. Okay, don't you want that? And I'm like, you think communism will get us to the point where we have spaceships and like post scarcity?
No.
You're nuts.
Yeah.
But then the other problem is that I think our government's too big. I think our populations are too big, in the sense that how do you govern? How does one representative represent 750,000 people?
You're right. They're all 100% different too.
You don't.
Everybody's different.
So you end up with like Ocasio-Cortez.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't actually care about her district. It's none of these representatives do. These people get elected in their districts and then go and complain about national level issues.
Yeah.
Not what their district is concerned about.
Exactly.
It's the weirdest thing. Now they have to get reelected, but for the most part, these districts have all become D+ or R+. You know what that means?
No.
It's like in the reason Ocasio-Cortez won is because it's a Democrat guaranteed district.
Oh, okay.
There was no election. Like nobody shows up for the primary. Nobody cared. And because she rallied enough activists and the Democrats just weren't paying attention, she won the primary. And then because it's a D+ 30 district,
Wow.
people just walk in and go D. They don't think twice. They don't care. They don't know.
Someone tweeted at me actually that she only got 14 signatures, or she needed 15, so she's not even on the ballot or something.
What? No. I'm pretty sure she is.
I'm not sure exactly what it was.
That's
but-
the Working Families Party.
Yeah, she's
Oh, okay.
applying something
So
different.
the Working Families Party is kind of like an activist ballot. Never really wins, but it always supports the Democrat.
okay.
And she's not going to be on it. But interestingly, she just had a debate with her principal challenger, Michelle Crusoe Cabrera. Caught her in a lie.
Like AOC in a lie?
Yeah. AOC said that after this vote in D.C., Michelle Crusoe Cabrera called her out for like spending a week in her luxury apartment in D.C. with like, complete with infinity pool and a Whole Foods,
Okay.
while her district was suffering and dying from COVID. And AOC was like, well, I wasn't feeling well. And then Crusoe Cabrera, I think she was the one who published this, showing the timeline of AOC like doing Instagram Live with Megan Rapinoe, the soccer player. Like you're doing celebrity live streams and doing like, she was there for a week, I guess, posting these videos like
Yep.
Just making TikToks.
The-
And
right,
Snapchats
exactly.
and-
Making drinks.
Yeah,
these
she
people-
was,
In her
yeah.
kitchen.
Mhm.
Yep. In her luxury apartment.
Yep.
And then this is the funniest thing. Crusoe Cabrera said, you lied and told people you were in the Bronx. And AOC said, no, I didn't. Because apparently AOC said something like, hey, to everyone here in the Bronx. Something like that. So she didn't actually say, I'm in the Bronx. But she phrased it in a way that people who were watching would think she was back in New York when she was really chilling at a luxury apartment in D.C. Gotta love it, man. I love it. People have complained about her, but I don't want to drag her specifically. It's like too many. Like Nancy Pelosi for sure. It's like, come on, dude. Your city is covered in human waste. Like
She scares me.
the mummy lady.
She's a
that's what they
scary
call her.
woman, yeah.
She's skeevy.
I don't think any of these people actually care. The interesting thing is, it's like based on what these people have done, I really do think that they're I think Rand Paul cares. deeply. That
Okay.
dude's got principles. I like that guy. He's like my favorite politician. I think Dan Crenshaw cares. I think Tulsi cares. And I think Trump cares. I think Trump cares about America.
Yeah.
But I think, in my opinion, when it comes to the president, he has this view of like, he has his view of what America is, and that's what he cares about.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. So where it's like, I don't know how to really kind of describe what I mean, but I think Trump has more of a personal perspective on like, this is America and this is what I care about. And he's trying to build America in this vision. It's literally what he says, make America great again.
Yeah.
And so I look at someone like Rand Paul. It's relatively similar. The Constitution, constitutional rights, you know. But I think most of these people, there was a post on Reddit that went viral where they were like, stop thinking that anyone cares about you. Trump doesn't care about you. Bernie doesn't care about you. Biden doesn't care about you. They're crunching numbers.
Yep.
They're asking their consultants what do they need to say to convince people to vote, and they're targeting markets. That's all it is.
Yep.
And I you know what's crazy is I hear that and I'm like, I don't know if I agree with that when it comes to Trump, because Trump is a culture war icon. And the people who are voting for him on, like, especially on social media, they're really invested in the culture war. And so they're like all about Trump, the memes, the cause, the movement. And then you look at the opposition and there's no politician behind that.
No.
You know, it's Trump or anti-Trump. So I think it's fair to say Bernie doesn't care about you. I think it's fair to say Biden doesn't care. Biden, for the most part, I think Bernie cares a little bit.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's fair to say that Trump doesn't, because Trump is a, you know, culture war. You know, I think it's like he's here for his mission. Then you look at Biden. What's Biden there for? To like help the Clinton Foundation get back into getting hundreds of millions of dollars from the Saudis or something?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's a placeholder.
For
Yeah,
who?
for sure.
For what? What are they going to do?
I don't know who it's going to be, but I can't fathom him actually debating Trump.
Yeah, I don't.
He's
see
not going
it.
to do it.
He's not. No,
Yeah.
I don't see it happening.
I don't know what he's going to do.
No.
I don't know what's going to happen. Everything is stupid. Everyone's dumb. Everything's dumb. Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. If you want to catch the full show, tune in to this channel, subscribe, hit the like button, or check us out on iTunes and Spotify. And we will soon have this podcast up for free on all podcast platforms. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all in the next episode.